What is up, YouTube? Today we are checking out a brand new pair of headphones from Audeze called the MM-500, made in collaboration with 11-time Grammy-winning mixer Manny Marantz. Let's check these bad boys out. Oh yeah. First things first, I want to give a big shout out and thank you to the good folks at Audeze for sending me a pair of these for me to review. And they came in September, so this is like an extended review. I'm gonna do a whole lot of talking. We'll get into the unboxing in just a second so you can check these things out. They're not cheap. Coming in at $1,700, these things are not cheap. Yes, there are more expensive. Yes, there are less expensive. But these things are actually aimed at mixing engineers and audio professionals like myself. So the headphones arrived September of last year, and in October, Joe and I decided to go full force and get this project done. And I'm talking about the Spatial Audio Calibration Toolkit. And in that toolkit, I use these headphones to create, develop, mix, test, check all 160 Atmos tracks for that project. Were all done with these headphones. Here in the studio, I have an 11-channel Dolby Atmos mixing setup. It consists of a 7.1.4 speaker configuration. And I do make a lot of stuff here, but I had to pretty much burn the candle at both ends to get 160 Atmos tracks done for the project for release mid-December. And the MM-500s were integral part of getting the project finished. Anybody that needs to mix on the go, these are your go-to headphones. I mean, they are for me. I don't really want to give these back because these things are awesome. And the one thing that I noticed the most, especially working with Atmos, it's a very important thing to know exactly where the sounds are that I'm placing them in the computer and how they're relating to where I'm hearing them through the headphones. And these things were spot on. The highs and mids are super clear, and I was able to tell exactly what's going on. And even after the Spatial Audio Calibration Toolkit was finished, I continue to use these. Even last night, I was working on a new mix from that KX5 song, Escape. KX5, if you didn't know, is the Cascade and Deadmau5 collaboration. So I'm working on the song and making a 9.1.6 native Atmos mix for it. And look here in the Dolby Atmos renderer. There is so much going on and sounds moving around so fast. It looks like a Christmas tree up in here. And the MM-500s, the clarity in the mids and highs allowed me to be able to hear exactly where the objects are moving around in a 3D space. And when I brought it back here into the studio just to double check, I was amazed at how well everything translated. And I would check it here in the 7.1.4 mixing environment, and then I quickly switch things over and listen to it in a 7.1.4 consumer system. And man, like, I know exactly from studio to home theater, like it's going to translate perfectly. So I highly recommend the MM-500 for mixing. Now, if we're talking about casual listening, I think the bass is not as exaggerated as I would like them to be. They are more accurate than anything else. Like the bass is still punchy and tight. But when I went through my, demo tracks that I would use to review headphones and speakers on Tidal, when I went through all those songs, there was something, just a little bit lacking for me in the bass department. However, on the mixing side, these things are like flat down through the sub. I think frequency response goes down to like, 5 hertz or something like that. I'm not going to go into too much detail about planar magnetic versus dynamic drivers, other than the fact that they'll have less distortion and the transducers on this thing are huge, right? But the one thing I do want to mention, because you can go read all this online with the link down in the description, all the little stats on this headphones. You can read that. I don't need to say it. But the one thing that does, pop out in my head is the impedance, and that's 18 ohms. Because Manny, he wanted to be able to just plug the headphones into your MacBook Pro or your laptop and just go. And that's how I've used it. Now, one thing I do have a gripe about is that the cable is only a 1/4-inch cable. So I had to use an adapter like this guy right here. So you guys know I like to do an apples to apples comparison based on price. So these guys come in at $16.99, and these Denons are my daily drivers. These come in at $15.99. So pretty much an apples to apples comparison For mixing, 100% MM-500. However, if I want to just casually listen, I want to put on these Denons, okay? So for me, that's how I'm gonna roll. Now, the one huge difference between these two is open back versus closed back. And I was attempting to mix on my laptop in bed with my wife sleeping next to me. And so I went ahead and tried the Denons, and I stopped. Like, these things were way too off. Like, these things color the sound, you know, in a nice way. But when I need to know exactly where the sounds are located and how the sound balance from all of the different speakers, you know, going from mixing 2 channels to 11 channels is a completely different monster altogether. I know some people say $1,700 for headphones is expensive, but this is more of like an investment. If you are a mixing engineer and you need to do a lot of work on the go, these things are fantastic. And the case, it even has like keys and a lock, and it's very, very amazing to have a case like that. The Denons, did they come with a case? No, I had to spend $35 on a case, and it was absolute garbage. Like, I was worried when I took those headphones, the Denons, with me on the go somewhere, because I was just like, man, these things are gonna get busted. They're like $1,600. Like, I don't want to do that. These, I have no problem taking them in the case, even here in the studio. Like, these things are made very tough and very well. Quickly, let's get into what I didn't like. And it's 2 things. One of the things is just, you know, common with all Audeze headphones. I have a pair of Audeze planar magnetic gaming headset, and I have the LCD2 closed back headphones that I reviewed, I think, over a year ago. And just like those two, this one, the MM-500, clamping force. Oh, it's like, oh, for the first couple of months, it was bad. Now, they're perfectly fine. They are rigid and they clamp in, especially when they're brand new, pretty hard on the head. So for those of you who have big heads, that might be an issue. I did see that, you know, someone has, you know, put a soccer ball in between them and, you know, let it sit there for a couple of days, and it was fine after that. So maybe that's that. The second thing is the cable. Since this is supposed to be for mixing on the go, maybe they should have supplied a cable that had an 1/8 inch termination instead of a 1/4 inch, and then given us a 1/4 inch adapter. I don't know. But now it makes me want to look into getting a cable, because if I was using it with the DAC, it goes into a DAC and then has the adapter. And again, it's like, you know, 6-7 inches like dangling off of the laptop. I kind of don't like that look. But yeah, those are my only 2 gripes about these headphones, and that's pretty much it. All right, let's do this unboxing real quick. In the box, we have a case. Everything is inside this case. Here's the cable. Again, it's only a 1/4 inch termination. If you need 1/8 inch, probably better to just get a custom-made cable for it. There is a soft carry bag, which is actually pretty large. Have not used that. You get 2 keys for the lock on the case, because yeah, the case, you can lock it. Perfect. There are some cards for downloading the manual and all that cool stuff. Getting into build quality, it is top-notch. I have no problems in thinking these headphones will last me at least 10 years. Made with metal and aluminum, these things are rock solid. The ear pads are soft, plush, and comfortable. I had no problem wearing these on my head for extended periods of time, like 5-6 hours straight. Earpiece adjustments click into place and stay locked. Checking out the case, we can see that it's very protective. There's a lot of padding in here, and it is the perfect accessory that you didn't have to pay for, which is huge. I mean, you're paying almost $2,000 for headphones, and it comes with a travel case. I think that's great. I think it's fantastic, considering the Denons did not, you know, that's just more added value right there. And of course, since it's for work per se, this is more of an investment than it is just, you know, a regular hi-fi headphone purchase, in my opinion. So if you're a mixing engineer and you do a lot of work on the road, or you're thinking about it, or your schedule you're seeing in the next year or 2 is going to be a lot of on the road stuff, and you still want to mix projects, I think you should definitely give the MM-500 a go. But fair warning, you might like them a whole lot, so just be prepared to buy them, but go try them out and listen to them first, because I know everybody, you know, prefers different things, and hearing is very subjective. So take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. Try them out. I, again, think They were invaluable in creating the Spatial Audio Calibration Toolkit, which is the first Dolby Atmos calibration disc in the world, in existence, on the planet. I mean, unless you're from Mars, they might have a different one there. Don't know. So I do want to thank the folks at Audeze for sending these over, because these headphones are a game changer for me and my workflow in getting all my work done, no matter where I am. In the studio, at the dining table upstairs, at my other job late at night, wherever I am, I know I can get the job done, and I know that my mix and my mixing decisions will translate very well to my 11-channel Atmos home studio and straight into everyone's Dolby Atmos home theater. That's it for today. Thank you so much. See you in the next one. Peace.